Hi everyone and welcome back to Unscripted On Air. So for today's episode, we have a very special guest. She's a woman that's, she has a very big heart. She's one of the first few coaches that I've met along the way when I was starting here in Canada. She's a professional career coach with over 15 years of experience. So please help me welcome Tita Jane Mendita.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Hannah, for having me here today. I'm pretty excited about today's session or meeting. Actually, before coming here, I was really thinking, and I said, what would this day look like for me? And as soon as I saw you, my face just lit up, and I said, "Oh, this is Hannah." So I'm so proud of seeing you here today.
Yeah, and thank you for saying yes right away.
Anytime.
Yeah. So just a quick background, just so the viewers know how we also met. We met like almost a decade ago. Maybe let's just say
2017, 18, pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the time na nag-start pa lang ako maghanap ng trabaho. And you were the first few persons who guided me on where to start and how to start.
Yeah, I clearly remember that time. I was still with one of the organizations I used to work with, and I was also helping newcomers at the time, and I clearly remembered Hannah. Hannah was pretty young at the time, and I was it's a very good thing that I met her, because you see young people coming in the doors of your office, and they have questions about careers, and it's really good to see where she is now, or where she is today.
Oh,
right?
Thank you.
From where we started.
Mm-hmm. No, you're one of the key persons that really helped me. Kasi syempre pagka iisipin ng tao, so nagpunta ka ng Canada, and then what's next? Because there are various organizations that can help you along the way, right? And I think now overlook lang din yung career coaches.
Yes.
Because not a lot of people seek help.
Yes, I agree.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. Because it's the same way. It was the same way with me. I was once a newcomer myself, and I was also lost. And it took me some time to find where I really belong pagdating sa pagpunta sa Canada, when we first came, I was so excited. Yay, Canada, here I come. Parang all the excitement was there, and then suddenly you realize, so now what? What's next? And then you're lost. Even if you've prepared, and that's what I did. Prepare namin yung sarili namin. I did my research. I prepared everything para sa aking mga anak, sa mga bata. Pero iba talaga yung nandito ka na, and then realize mo na you really need help. And so I'm coming from that point of view na pag may bagong dating, I really wanted to help para na shorten yung, instead of them going round in circles, nagkakaroon ng shorter way path for them.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they come here, unang hahanapin yung trabaho.
Oo.
But then it would be hard. Kasi simpleng resume lang, it's not simple at all. Kasi ang dami sabihin, okay, do I put a photo here? Which is not a common practice dito po sa Canada.
Oo.
Right?
Totoo. Nung ako din, first time ko din dito, naghanap ng trabaho. Actually, hindi ko alam kung saan maghanap ng trabaho. Una, hindi ko rin alam kung anong pwede kong gawin. Kasi, I used to teach at the university level. At the time, I was an instructor. Tapos pagdating ko ng Canada, there were different barriers sa career ko, because una, you need to get a license, you need to go this, you need to, if you want to teach in the university, you need to have a PhD, mga ganun ba. So it was difficult for me at that time, and I really wanted to get back into adult education facilitation. Hindi ko alam yon. And so when I was looking at writing my resume, I actually called mga language schools. Nag-apply ako, tapos hindi ko lang mag-pick up ng phone. right? Yung bang, meron palang tumatawag sa akin ng work, hindi ko, kasi takot ako na magsalita. I couldn't speak. Kasi akala ko magaling na ako mag-English dati. Pero pagdating ko parang natameme ako. So, ganun ba? And then you write your resume na 10 pages long because of the experience that you have with all my pictures, the address, my age, my citizenship, my residence, permanent resident ka ba o ano. Hindi ko alam yun eh. I didn't know those things until one day I attended a job search workshop. And that's when things started to open up. Like I was 3 weeks dito sa Canada but pag bagong dating ka, hindi agad-agad nag-click eh. You know, you could go to different organizations but it doesn't click immediately kasi you're new. Sa akin, ganun. I mean, I could speak for myself, but also for those who are new to Canada and the clients that I've met with, pretty much it's the same, right? There's more of a disconnect as to where I was and now this is where I am. I'm prepared, but I really don't know where to get the resources.
So thank you for sharing your experience. Now, having said that, meron po ba yung effect or impact on how you chose, say, being a career strategist or being a career counselor? Kasi before, back then, you were teaching.
Yes.
So how did it jump from being a teacher and then
A career counselor,
a career
right?
counselor.
Parang ang layo, ano? I don't know, pero I think I have to go back when I was younger. I was a little girl at that time. And nanonood ako ng TV. Nung nanonood ako, I enjoyed yung detective stories ba. Tapos na-enjoy yung may mga pinapalabas sila na mga psychologists, psychiatrists, magana na they ask questions. Tapos sabi ko pa, pagka nanonood pa ako ng TV, nanonood din ako ng news. Sabi ko, gusto ko maging kagaya sa kanila. And little did I know, kasi my mom especially was an elementary school teacher. I come from a family of teachers. So yung members namin ng family were all teachers. So naturally, magiging teacher ka rin, right? So maraming nagplay na factor, pero I really enjoyed yung nanonood ako ng nagtatanong ng tungkol sa buhay ng tao. And I think that's where when I came to Canada after being a teacher for a while, I thought I really have to find something that I love doing, that I really enjoy doing. And I want to go back into psychology. And then after a research, I found community services at George Brown, and I was looking at all the different courses that they had. Ayoko naman maging social worker. Ayoko na maging, I didn't know those things, mga community worker. Pero one thing that struck me was yung sinabing career and work counselor. And I read more onto it. And I attended an information session. And that's where I realized that, this is what I really wanted to do, to be a career counselor. And you know why? One of the things that brought me into that career too was when I said I was a newcomer, right? And I was searching for a place for answers for if I were to become a teacher. Because I did all of those things. I want to be a teacher. I did those research, right? Want to be a teacher, want to this, I did. And then I went back to, I also want to do, I want to become a psychologist, mga ganon. Realistically, it didn't work. So I went to an employment center. And the first employment center that I went to was the job search workshop, but I had to leave it kasi may mga anak ako. And then later, I went to another employment center and there was a job developer naman. So I didn't know what I was doing. Basta sabi nga you take the test. So I took the test. And sabi niya, I'm a job developer. I can connect you with jobs. So I go, that's not what I want. I want to become a teacher. You have to tell me what to do, right? I don't know. Then I met an employment counselor. Finally, I met an employment counselor and that was my turning point. Nakaupo siya sa kabila ng table, nandito ako. And you know what she said to me? Sabi niya, give me your resume. And sabi ko, well, tell me what you want to do. I said, I don't know. I want to become a teacher. I don't know. But this is my resume. So I showed her 5 pages of my resume. And you know what she said? Okay. So, back home, you did this. You were a school principal. You started the school for the visual impaired. You did all of this. I had several accomplishments along the way. You know what she did? She crossed out all those experiences. And I said, I showed her all my certificates and everything. Screen-cross out niya lahat. Tapos sabi niya ganun, you see, you now, and nandito ka na sa Canada, kaya itong mga to, baliwala na. Talaga naman, parang bumagsak ang mundo ko.
Yep.
Parang naiyak na ako, sabi ko. Tapos alam mo, sabi niya, dahil gusto mo nang mag-teach ng English, go to all the different, pumunta ka sa library, get all the list of the schools who that are teaching English. So ako naman, dahil the internet was there, I didn't have to go to the library, right? I just downloaded the information, gave her the link of these are all the English schools that I found. Click all the links. You know what she said? Bumalik ka doon, bigyan mo ako ng physical na libro. Kasi meron pa silang magazine nun. Sabi ko, bakit pa ako? I can do this by myself. Binigay ko nga, bumalik ako, binigyan ko. Siguro ang point niya is do my research. I did my research, online nga lang. Pero hindi ako nagpunta. And I felt so hurt and lost at that time. Nagalit ako, imbis na matuwa ako, nagalit ako nung umuwi ako. Sabi ko, alam mo ba ang sinabi sa akin? Hindi na daw kailangan itong mga to dito sa Canada, iba na daw. And you know what I said to myself? What job are you doing right now? Because I'm going to be like you someday.
That's how it started.
That's how it started. Sabi ko, if ever I'll be in your position, I will never give that advice to my clients. And that's why when I found Career and Work Counselor program, yun ang lumabas sa kanila, employment counselors. So when I said, oh, good, I'm going to become an employment counselor and I'm going to treat clients where they are, what they are, and give them what they need, information that they needed. Because I didn't want them to do the same thing as that they did to me at that time. You know, yung bang newcomer ka, you go and work in McDonald's, you go and work in the factory. Yun ang sasabihin sa'yo, bakit hindi ba pwede yung experience ko back home? Ano ba? And that's when I worked hard on that. Like, I worked hard to get where I am today. And that's why whenever I meet a client, I say to them, do not discount the experiences that you have or you had in your country, because whatever the skills you have are the same skills that you will be using. There might be differences in terms of policies, procedures, laws, human resources, and everything, but the skills that you have are similar to what the skills that they're using, right? Like, don't tell me you're an architect in the country and then you come back here and you say it's a different architecture. You study the same architectural books. You study the same technical skill. You use the same technical skills. The only difference is that the licensing, the certifications that you need to meet those things. Other than that, you can do other things. So that's what I did. That's why I became an employment counselor, career counselor, and up to now. That's why pag nakita ko yung LinkedIn ko, it's more about there's always opportunities where challenges exist.
Parang yung pala nag-fuel mo, your own personal experience.
Yes, yun ang fuel, yun ang sa akin na it's very important to look back as to yung personal experience ko, because I didn't want other people to have the same experience. I mean, it's okay to have that experience because you learn from that experience, right? But what I want is to help them, get over also yung assumptions ba, the different assumptions that they have. Nakala nila just because yung word na they are saying this, that's the right thing already. But you gotta do your research before getting into something.
Yeah,
right?
And there's a lot of ways on how you can use your skill set.
Exactly.
Right? Your current situation, your current location. Hindi siya, it won't be put into waste.
No, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's where you come in.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it was actually when I went through the Career and Work Counselor program at George Brown. When I graduated, I cried. Umiyak ako ng gusto. Kasi there were a lot of things that that were addressed sa personality ko, sa the way I speak, the way I talk to people, and the confidence right now. You won't see this confidence in me when I first started, because I was, sabi ko, di ba, I could speak English, pero I wasn't so confident that yung mga tao, pag kinakausap nila ako, they speak to me with their ears. So mag-order lang ako ng kape, halimbawa sa McDonald's, ganyan. Hindi ko alam na, kala ko malakas yung boses ko nung pag nag-order ako. Yung pala, it comes out very soft. And then, it comes across, I come across as somebody with lack of experience and lack of confidence.
Yeah.
Yun ang lumabas na nakita ko. And then I realized na, nga pala, in order for me na mapansin ng ibang tao, I have to be confident with what I have, that I am able to speak the way I speak today, and whatever meron sa akin only belongs to me.
You own it.
I own it. That's correct. I own it. These are the skill sets that I have that others don't have. They might have it, but they have it in a different way, right? And sabi, biro mo, so what can I get for you? Tapos sabi ko, I would like to have this. Sabi nga na,
Say that
say
again.
that again. Dito ang usap. Dito sa tenga. So, akala ko, and sabi ko, if I want to move further, I have to deal with this myself.
Right.
Right?
And you have to develop it and overcome it.
Yeah.
Because especially coming here, you don't really expect people to adjust
Yeah.
sa'yo. Baliktad tayo yung mag-a-adjust. Because, first of all, hindi natin ito bansa. We just came here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So yun lang din po yun. I just wanna go back. Say, especially for people na, say, newcomer. Especially they will feel lost. Because I've also encountered people na, say in my same field. Because I have a background in architecture, and that's how we met.
Yes.
That's how we met. They're trying. They're applying for like 10, 50, 100 jobs, and walang callback. It's not frustrate. And then I will ask them back, can I see your resume? And then you will see 2, 3, 4 pages. And I was like, is it okay if I help you out?
That's so nice, yeah.
So I'll try to apply yung mga natutunan ko back then that we can summarize. And we just put whatever's relevant, what is important.
Yes.
Right? We don't have to list all these things that's not necessary, because they want something that's easy to read, that's concise, and you can get a call from them, right?
Right.
So, and also would be, I think, yung communication skills.
Yes, yeah.
That we would have to improve on.
Yeah.
And like what you said a while ago, like I like what you said, it's like being confident and owning it, like owning your voice, and just really knowing your worth as well.
Exactly.
Right? Because a lot of people are being taken for granted, especially their skill sets.
Yeah, because you gotta know your value. You gotta know what's your value proposition for yourself, right? If you don't value yourself, how can other people value you? If you're not proud of what you can do, how can other people be proud and believe in what you say? I know that culturally, now I'm talking about our cultural background. In the Philippines kasi, nasanay tayo. And I don't know, I've been away for a while in the Philippines already. And I was brought up in a place where I was brought up in a way where you cannot speak about yung bang you can't say, oh, ako ang gumawa niyan. I'm proud of this kasi ako yung 'di ba, yung iba kasi yung dating parang nagbubuhat ka ng sarili mong bangko. Pero hindi 'yon ang point dito. It's more about self-advocacy at saka worth. You identify yung skill sets mo, yung what are your strengths, and then that's where you say and ask yourself, what have I done great? What have I done with this skill sets? Ano yung mga what are the great things that I've done? And then you could be proud of that, right? Of course, you work in teams if you're working with other with other people. Kasi sabihin nila, well, Jane, we work with teams and I cannot just own the success. Other people also own the success. Pero sabi ko, okay, think of it this way. You have 5 fingers, correct? You have your hands, you've got 5 fingers, there's the thumb, and then merong kalingkingan to. Think of you as isa sa mga fingers. Pag wala yung thumb, anong mangyayari? Kulang. Right? So kung ikaw yung thumb, what particular tasks have you done na tumulong dito sa iba? So they have their own skill sets and strengths and successes. You also have your own personal success. Right? So, and that's how I look at it. And that's what you can be proud of.
Right. And also being specific on the job or part that you've accomplished. Exactly. You're not owning it as a whole.
Exactly.
You're just saying, you know what, I'm part of it, right?
Yes. You're part of it, but for example, I don't know, in terms of architecture, for example, or if I go back to my own in my own career, like team, some people are very good in, let's say we have clients, right? Different clients. And you might see, oh, you have to meet this person, you meet that person, because that's their expertise, right? So for me, my success was, for example, helping the architects at that time. Alam nila na, oh, si Jane, architect ito. O sige, kung gusto mong i-meet, go and meet. Kasi nakita nila that I developed the skills in helping architects in Canada. So, from a regular resume, you change it to a resume that really focuses on architecture, and then you talk about portfolio as well. Other counselors don't have those skills, right? So alam nila na yun ang ginagawa ko, and that's where they send me. And that's where I could strongly say, I coached architects in Canada. Because that was what I did. And naturally, because they've seen that, they actually offered a position to me na I was parang binigyan ako ng program facilitation back at one of the can I say JVS, right?
Yes po.
At JVS they gave me in-offer sa akin na sabing ganon, Jane, wala yung facilitator, can you fill in? Do you want to become the facilitator for the iPlan practice, which is different from iPlan bridging program, kasi yung iPlan practice are for those architects who are taking exam, yung exam na. And imagine itong mga architects na to, they've been working for 10 years, many years in Canada already, or some of them are pretty new.
Not yet licensed here.
They are already working on their licensure exam. And yun yung clients already. So from regular na newcomers to Canada architecture, I moved up to already architects who are already working, who are very smart architects already are working and want to take the license. Why? Because they knew that I have developed that skill. And I had that skill. So that's what I was proud of, right? And you could speak to that portion too in your career. What particular skill are you really good at? And that's your strengths. Actually, yesterday I had an interview with, was it yesterday, the other day? I had an interview with someone from a new graduate from, was it a new graduate or somebody who was studying at York University na graduate siya. And they were coming up with a tool for a career tool. And I thought it was just an interview, yung bang usap lang na informational interview. And then I realized that nagdala siya ng isa pang kasama niya. Sabi ko, I thought it was just the 3 of us. No, we would like to pick your brain regarding this. I said, okay. And then that's where we talked about yung tools na yon. So I realized that, and then the question they asked me was, ang question kasi sa akin is, what do you think about strengths? When do you start using your strengths? How is it going to help in terms of careering and changing? I said, you need to know your strengths early on in order for you to move up the ladder. Because once you know your strengths, you find out also what your gaps are. And you learn about those things that you need to work on. Right? And we had a very good conversation yesterday, and I hope they will be able to use the tool for career advisors as well in the future. So that's, and talking about my strength, because I love teaching, I love talking, I like facilitating, It didn't come out. I think one of the things that I'm really good at is one is planning and yung talking to people and listening to people as to what they want, and I love talking. Once I get started, I keep talking. You notice?
No, it's good, which is good. And I think that's very important that you've mentioned all these things. Because like what I said, not a lot of people are tapping into these resources. Right? Which is sobrang sayang. Kasi ang daming wasted potential that, you know what, someone could have helped you reach like, you know, go to a better position or help you looking for a better job. Because people like you, ate, you can help someone have some clarity.
I like the word. Yeah, I like the word clarity. I don't know if it's cultural. And kasi syempre sa atin, we're used to, alam mo, pag tinanong ka, consumption, stress, we're used to stress sa atin, right? We're used to these things because it exists.
We function in a very high stress environment.
Yeah, di ba? Yung, punta ka dito sa Canada, maisip mo, ayan na, stress na sila sa ganyan. Parang ganon ba yung nasa isip mo? Pero that's the thing, di ba? Yung, yun na nga, sabi ko, why, sometimes I think it's cultural na, and this is just my thinking, and maybe there are studies about that because your culture also dictates how you communicate with people, how you deal with problems and so on. So sa atin kasi sanay tayo na tayo yung and parang pride ba yung why do I meet the word counselor? Kasi akala natin ang counselor is or a coach is somebody na, it's more like negative, right? Ang thinking natin. Pero actually, it dito sa atin, in my line of work, as a counselor or as a coach, it's more not about problems. It's not about your problem, mga ganon. They're going to ask you about where you want to be. Where you want to think about. For example, I used to be a teacher in the Philippines, and I want to become a teacher here. What are the steps that I need to make, right? And then if hindi naman nag-work nun, ayaw ko nang maging teacher kasi pagod na ako, then there are options. These are the options that you need to yun ang role ng career counselor to guide you. And yun nga sabi mo, sometimes we do not seek services. Sayang. Didn't you know na nung nagpunta kayo sa Canada, part ng, part ng fees na binabayaran nyo sa landing fee ay pumupunta sa Canadian government. Yung Canadian government naman nagsusupport sa mga non-profit organizations to help out newcomers to Canada. So, para makuha mo rin yung end ng money mo na binayaran mo, pumunta ka sa services kasi libre. Hindi ka magbabayad. At saka meron ba yung stigma na pag non-profit kasi yung bang ganon sa atin na akala nila it's money thing. No. The non-profit here in Canada are very, very regulated.
Right.
And that for example, employment services, because we're funded by the government, they're very strict pagdating sa funding. So gusto nila makatulong. They want you to move up. They want you to be economically stable and They want you to be able to contribute to the economy. And that's why these things are there in place for you to be a contributing member of the society. And that's the reason why we offer these services. And if you don't go, then it's a waste. Nga sabi ni Hannah, sayang. Meron namang places na magpunta. Kung ako kaya nung bagong dating din ako, I tried to look for resources. Hindi ko alam na meron palang nagtumutulong kung paano kumuha ng SIN, walang bayad, libre. Paano kumuha ng bank, they teach you attend workshop seminars, libre lang. They teach you where to enroll your kids, schools, they're all free of service, and you don't really have to, pamasahe mo na lang ang kailangan mong bayaran pagpunta mo. Babayaran pa nga nila pamasahe mo pag wala kang pamasahe.
Re-reimburse nila.
Re-reimburse nila kung kailangan. Yung mga yon. So take advantage of these resources. For those who come here as, there's a certain caveat naman, syempre.
Yeah.
Hindi naman, it's not for everyone, right? Like there are, Well, I've got to say this, and it's very important that I say this, that there's also eligibility criteria, but then there are still a lot of places where you could go for free naman. You could still walk and they won't turn you away. That it's an open door policy, right? You go, ask, all you need to do is ask for information. They will provide you with the information. They direct you to the right resources.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to do. Ask questions, they direct you to the right resources.
At the end of the day, there's help available.
There is help available, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, thank you, Ate Jane, for... Ate tuloy talaga eh. Kasi nung na-meet kita, sobrang bata, walang nagbago. Tita na pala.
Tita na, oh, no?
No, thank you so much. Parang kulang sa oras.
Kulang ba?
Pa-part 2 ka niya na.
Oo ba? Oo.
No, but just to close, because there's a lot of topics that we would like to touch base on, and kulang sa time.
Kulang, diba?
No, but just one... Kasi you've been through a lot of things, say personally, even sa career.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about that later on. Pala rin tayo na magka-episode.
Yeah.
You know, another episode with you.
Yeah.
But maybe just a word of wisdom that you could say, share sa makakapanood nito. And, you know, just a word of encouragement on how they can get started, or if they're feeling lost. Just a word of wisdom in general.
Well, the first thing is hindi kayo nag-iisa. There are resources for everyone, and each resource is different. It depends on your need. One of the things that I like to share is, as if you're a newcomer to Canada, reach out to those who are, I would say, network. Reach out to those who are in the field you want to get into, and for sure they're very helpful. Those who are in the field, and if you're not getting any answers at all, expand and explore, and don't be discouraged, because there's a reason why you came to Canada, and there's a reason why you're here. Just don't forget to be thankful. And for me, because I'm not saying I've gone through a lot, maybe, I don't really understand everyone's where people are. I've gone through different places, and just value the people you along the way, and say thank you, because they're very important
Thank
to
you,
your
Tita
success.
Jane.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Like, you were one of yung mga unang tao talaga na tumulong sa akin when I got here. And it was such a turning point na, oh wow, mga ganito palang mga tao that's willing to go like an extra mile just to help you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Hannah, for not
Thank
forgetting
you.
me. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the importance of having a good relationship.
Yes. Value the people. It's very important. This is something that I learned. It's very important to value the people you meet and say thank you. And pay it forward. Don't ask for kapalit. Kung may ginawa sa yung mabuti, pay it forward sa ibang tao. Not necessarily to the person na tumulong sa'yo. Because that's how it is, right? It will come back to you 100-fold. Yeah.
Amen. No, but thank you so much, Tita Jane, for being with us here today. And I hope to everyone who's watching, I hope you guys learned a thing or two from us. And if you would like to connect with her, you can find her on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Her profile is
Jane Mendita. It's just plain Jane Mendita, and you will find me there in LinkedIn.
Yeah. Just stay connected. And like what we said, the help is available.
Yes.
Right. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. That's it for episode today on Unscripted On Air. And again, my name is Hannah, and see you soon.